Hello and welcome to a new episode. Now, we have a few things. I have a few announcements. This is mainly going to be a truck episode, but I do have a couple of things to say first. Let's get to it. First announcement, the Z3. Been waiting patiently in the wings. One thing I never realized was how difficult it was going to be to get parts. Absolutely impossible, pretty much. Not in the scrapyards. A viewer kindly is supplying a hood that's on its way down from Washington State. So that is going to be here mid next week for that, and then she will get started on. And also I'm going to be contacting CX Racing, which is pretty close to me. And I want to get a radiator of those guys because they're nice and shiny. I want to do the half price at the scrapyard this weekend because it will be cheap. But I kind of like shiny stuff, and I know YouTube likes shiny stuff, so we're going to go shiny on this one and hopefully get a shop tour because they do some cool stuff and they develop their own parts and all that kind of stuff. And then the next announcement. Here on the exterior workbench, you can see the start of, well, it's kind of a midway of a project that has been in my friend's garage for a couple of years. So I'm going to resurrect that and hopefully do a day a week on it, and we're really going to start to get it moved forward. So this is a chopped sump that is going to be going in the car. This is an engine that originally drove the wrong wheels that we're going to be flipping around to drive the right wheels, which are the back ones. So yeah, so this is kind of like a little bit of an intro to that project. I'm going to be giving you the full rundown probably late next week on what we're going to be doing to that. So now, back onto Fat Betty. Rear cross member time. Yeah, literally, I just let this build batter my head trying to solve every problem at once, so one part at a time. Sill is in, and we're just making this cover plate here. This step down, I mean in the last episode I made those, that step down there is all going to be boxed in, so there's going to be this cover plate that is going, god damn it, it's going to be a cover plate that's going right there. So then that'll be that top section done. I just boxed it, I just ran it to the back of the floor for now. And then what I'm going to be doing is, you can see where that box is going to be. So what I'm going to be doing is running some straight down there, and then extending it down. So instead of having to bend metal to follow to this, I'm just going to be cutting this edge to follow that, and there'll be a straight edge. Sounds like complete gobbledygook right now, but it will make sense in the end. So there we go. I just popped a quick photo up on Instagram, and Nathan's Garage Official. Yeah, that's what I am on Instagram. So just tack that little front patch in now. That'll be it for today. And then we shall move on to the other side, because I'm just trying to even up the actual structural rigidity and mounting of the cab, because it's still just on the box section now. So yay, good stuff and good progress. It is said that it's easier second time. You do the first sill and you think, done a good job. And then you don't do the bloody kick out in this area. And then the second one, you do the kick out at the back here. You see that, just that little step out there, so I'm not going to put a filler panel in there. Second sill success. First one, less of a success. Still a success, but less. Anyway, on to the rear mount. So we're going to be measuring down to where the good metal ends, basically. Putting a fairly decent cross member in there. And then I think I'm going to be mounting it in this trough. I'm going to run a piece of box section in this trough to the back. And then up to a cross member type situation in there. I think that will create a good rear mount for the cab onto this floor. Next job. Here I hope you can see there's a black line running down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop that to a vertical, get rid of all this curved stuff, and I'm going to be coming up to a square and going across. Don't work well with curves. I work well with squares and boxes. So that is the line that's going to be on the lower edge of this box section. So the box section is going to sit like that, and that bottom edge is going to be there. So one thing really helps me with was the repair panel was terrible and had a completely different contour. Well, the contour started earlier on this new repair panel, and you know, I just put it in there because I thought I'll deal with it later on, but I'm not going to have to, because I'm going to be cutting vertically down there, getting rid of lots of bad metal and bad repair panels. So yes, we'll be coming straight up, so all this will all be gone. Nice! Happy days. Happy days and a plane. Wow. New rear cross member with reliefs cut out, capped to the ends, with reliefs cut out for these ridges that come down. It's going to sit on the back there, and I've also drilled holes, so it's going to get plug welded as well. Okay, as Bruce Buffer says, voice of the Octagon, it's time! I think it's kind of like that. I think he's a little more grand though. That's probably why he has his job. The back of this cab is super crazy Himalaya. So I've got clamps all the way down. You see the belly's out a little bit there because I've kind of run out of clamps. So I'm going to have to tack it and then plug it and move these clamps down as I go, so I get it, you know, really sucked in. So it's all super level. Oh, it's going to look so good. The back of this cab is going to look so good and be so strong. And look at that. Only tacked it in for now, so it's all plug welded in all the holes on the back and then tacked in along the top. I just didn't want to put a ton of heat into it and warp everything right now, but oh my god, that's so good compared to what it was. So now I'm just going to run some legs straight to the back and then up and then connect those. Oh, so happy with that. It battered my head for a long time what to do with the back of the cab, with it being rusty and being so many compound curves and stuff, but nice. Happy days. Next step. So we're into using some of the old box section which was strengthening this when I pulled all the floor out and everything. So box the end and then that's going to slide up like that. So I'll be able to triangulate it to this vertical and horizontal of the sill. So that should make it nice and strong. So goes up, pushes up against that back wall. So that'll get seamed, 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 seamed. And then I'm going to do a vertical box section to tie this, the back vertical, and that box section as well. That should be pretty strong. And then obviously this whole back section is going to get boxed in as well. You know what, for this episode, I'm going to call it. This is going to be it, because I've just chopped this bugger too short. I want it the same height as this so I can create a nice box section. I've cut it too bloody short. What a knob. So what I'm going to be doing is running like a thin, probably like ½ inch or 1x1 box section across the top of here. I'll come across here and then we'll box it in, and that will box horizontally and box vertically, and then that will do this majority of this area. I just wanted to put two verticals in here on both sides. There's a different piece on the other side, just to add a bit more strength to those two mounts. So yeah, progress. Very happy with today actually. So yay, all good, happy days. I am not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am very happy with this, with her rear end. I'm very happy with Fat Betty's rear end. Look at that, awesome. So we've got the box section going there. Had this in the garage because it's Sunday and I've got no ability to get any more like 2x2 or 1.5 by 1.5 box section, so I use that smaller stuff, but it's way thicker wall, so that's going to be fine. And then the same on the other side, so she is rock solid here. Oh, it's definitely a sit down, have a brew, sit back and look for a man moment. Okay, next up is going to be this filler panel here, and in the vein of me not having, you know, panel beating and metalwork tools, I need to keep it as simple as possible. So I'm going to be running a panel, try and bend that one piece. That shouldn't be too bad, bending it there, straight down there, then straight down there. I'm going to trim that sill piece. So it's all going to be, so down there, that's straight, and then that's straight, and then we'll be running obviously a connector piece to the bottom of the Explorer sill to the truck. So yeah, so that should keep it pretty simple. And then once I've got this flat piece running out this way, like that, I then just have to cut my piece with obviously one wavy edge, but then the other edge will be straight. It'll be a nice clean A-pillar. So what I said I was going to do with this front A-pillar area 2 seconds ago, scratch that. Scratch some of it. The theme's going to be the same, but it's going to be slightly different than that. And on that note, I'm going to end this episode. So thank you so much for watching, and the new episode is going to be out real soon. Catch you next time.